Alright, morning guys. So I'm going to be doing a different style video today. One that I don't know. It's still a vlog, but we're just talking about one specific thing today. And that is what's happening right now on YouTube, which is the Chris Ingham family drama. If you totally don't know what I'm on about, then I'll explain it now. If you do know, then you can skip forward a few seconds and you can just go into my thoughts on it. So basically what's happened is there is a YouTube family online called the Ingham family. I have been subscribed to them since Christmas this year. Loved their videos, always thought they were like a above and beyond family. Like honestly, they look like they do things for their kids that is just beyond amazing. And yes, I know they're on camera, so they have to constantly make things entertaining, but they've always come across to me as amazing parents, like beyond amazing. So what happened is that out on Twitter came a post from a girl called Jess. I've seen the official post, and she posted four screenshots of her notes in her phone. That had like a story or a statement on it. That was basically, in a nutshell, I'll leave the link down below, or just go on Twitter and type in Chris Ingham, it will come up. That she's basically accusing him that when they went away to Florida Disneyland, that she happened to be there at the same time as the family. She met up with the family, they took a picture, she got to meet them. This is a 16-year-old girl, by the way. Then apparently they did post on their social media the picture, which is not uncommon, but just putting that as my little side notes. And by the way, I am not on anybody's side here, just as a complete non-biased approach to this. I am not on anybody's side, because it's not my business. I'm just simply putting it out there, the story, and I want to know what other people think, quite honestly. I will say my opinion at the end, but it's not right for me to sit here and say she is totally innocent or he is totally guilty. Like, it's not my place. I'll tell you at the end what I think, sure, but don't take it like it's just me. So after the photo had been taken, apparently that evening Chris Ingham contacted this girl via Twitter, private messenger, and apparently asked her to meet up at midnight. One video report said it was to go skinny dipping, and another one was to meet up to go to the hotel room. It's all kind of a bit over the place. Honestly, there's not that many videos on YouTube, which is why I wanted to make this one. There's Demi Donnelly's video, which I love Demi. I'm obsessed with her videos so much right now, so she kind of inspired me to put my thoughts out there too. And then there is an official big YouTuber that's got like 2 or 3 million subscribers, who actually did an interview with this girl, which I'll get onto in a minute. Every night that she was there, again, we don't know how many nights, a few nights we're presuming, was contacting this same girl saying, can you meet me at midnight or past midnight, bearing in mind she's a 16-year-old girl and he's a dad of 3, married, 30-year-old plus guy. And I'm a bit like, this is really weird, because I've been watching the family for a while, and Chris is not a conventional guy, I would say, on the videos. You know, I feel like he's a little bit more effeminate. But this is in a very good way. It's because he's got 3 girls, you know, he's surrounded by girls, his wife, it's all lovey-dovey, and it's not a bad thing. I think it's brilliant. But, so he's always seemed never exactly, I suppose, as you'd imagine. I don't know. Then what happened is this girl said she finally feels like she has to put this out on Twitter. So she posted this statement, it got retweets, and it kind of went a little bit viral. And then she basically said to any other girl, she's like, if anybody else has had some experience like this, please comment to me or say it out there. And apparently she received a couple or a few DMs from different girls that are claiming to have a similar experience to this. And even one of them, in a video report I've watched, said that one of the girls apparently slept with him, because, you know, they're young and they're vulnerable, and apparently he made her sign a NDA that said, if you say anything about this, I can sue you for £250,000. Like, honestly, guys, I don't know if you're hearing this too while I'm saying it, but everything is starting to get a little bit more ridiculous. Not to say, again, that this isn't true, but you'd have to be pretty damn stupid, being Chris Ingham, to go to young girls thinking that, you know, that they're all over social media, they watch you because they're on social media, thinking you're going to get away with this when you've got so much to lose. It's not unheard of, though. You do hear that, you know, the families, the online personality families, they get too big for their boots. They have so many followers they know they could take advantage of, whether it's for money or whether it's for something else. So I'm really torn, because then I watched the video of this official YouTuber, I'll put his name here, I can't remember, he's got loads and loads of subscribers, he's Drama Something TV, where he interviewed this Jess. Now, the interview was weird, and I get the fact that people respond differently in different situations, like, but Jess on this video appeared to be sort of laugh-responsing her questions, her answers, sorry. It was just, it didn't feel serious, and that kind of raised an alarm for me as well. She doesn't sound upset, she doesn't sound, you know, even fazed by it. She sounds like she's excited / nervous to be on obviously a big YouTuber's channel, and answering these questions, which were fairly brief, to be honest. They weren't detailed at all when the guy was asking, oh, so like, how are you messaging? And I take it he messaged you like this and that. So they were very brief, like yes and no's, bit more added on now and again, but in no way detailed like an interview should be. But then we flip it over, and what so far I've noticed, because like I said, I'm subscribed to the Ingham family, they always upload every single day, and they haven't uploaded so far. I don't know if it's one day late or what's going on. And also, Chris, they didn't respond until, or any of their social media, the Ingham family, Chris's private one, or Sarah, the wife's, none of them responded to anything until 24 hours later, which then Chris posted, just written as the tweet, official statement, and underneath was an attached picture of, again, like a note section that had an official statement, but it was written in the third person, so it was like written, somebody else wrote it for him, it wasn't him. There's been accusations that people have been contacting Sarah Ingham, the wife, and she's been blocking anybody who's mentioned or asked her about this situation, which again, we have to take very lightly, because we can't see if someone has blocked somebody. So this is, you know, not useful information really, because it can be, that could just be hearsay. It could be one person. We're not saying that every single person. I think, to be honest, I think that's the majority of it. That I just think that this situation has been not dealt with in the right way on both sides of the story, I have to say. So you have to beg the question that, yes, you know, this girl could be completely telling the truth and everything she could be saying is 100% true. Not that I agree with that, because I think that every story has two sides. This girl also provided, she said that, because obviously the first thing people are like is like, okay, proof, what have you got? Where's the conversation? Where's your Twitter conversation? She apparently deleted this conversation because of how it made her feel. To a degree, I understand that, but you're 16, like, you're conscious of what you're doing, and I think if you know that that's wrong, you would be smart enough to keep the conversation. Simply me, I feel like I'm going to get ripped apart for that, but maybe that's just coming from my thoughts and how I would have reacted. But she did provide an email, the email screenshots that said Chris Ingham had sent you a message in the Gmail Messenger, which, okay, cool, okay, I get that, like, that makes sense, and I have no doubt in believing that Chris did contact her in some way, shape or form. But now you must know that, yes, we know that he did contact her, but we don't know what was said. And we don't know what was said on her part and his part. Once she'd reached out to these other people, and apparently she had a couple of people or a few, I don't even know, there's not an official number, which you'd think in such a serious accusation like this, you would have, like, oh, we've got 3 people, we have 5 people, we have 2 people. Like, not just, oh, we've got a few people. It's like, a few? Like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, you know, like, this is serious. Like, how many people are we talking about? Who got back to this Jessica, and one of them provided a Snapchat conversation screenshot. Now, we say conversation, it wasn't a conversation. It was only Chris's messages that he had sent. There was nothing from the recipient, which again is a red flag. I'm like, okay. Again, we have to remember that photos, unfortunately, are not completely credible evidence, or screenshots are not completely credible evidence. Can't talk this morning. Because obviously they can be photoshopped. I'm not saying they are, I'm just saying it's a possibility. We have to factor in every single thing. So in that message, it was a super long message that basically said, it sounded very blackmailing. The way it was written was very, very strange. It was like, if you dare say this to anybody, you're going to ruin my reputation and the family. You're going to break up my family. You're going to be responsible for that. Don't forget, I made you sign that said, if you tell anybody that you'll be sued for £250,000. And the reason that he sent this message apparently is, at the beginning he said, an iFam subscriber has contacted me saying that you spoke to them, that this had happened. I told them that nothing, that you were totally wrong and it was completely fake, and they said it's okay, but I'm messaging you now to tell you not to do that again. Very strange. If I have time, by the time I'm editing this video, I will try and find these official things and pop them up on the screen, so when I'm talking about it you can see it, because I feel like I liked watching videos that did that too. So I think that that's everything I have to give you in terms of what's actually happened here. Now on to the 2 sides of this story. So I'm going to start with the Chris Ingham is guilty side, okay? So let's say this girl is telling the truth and that has happened. Obviously, this is going to have huge consequences. It's going to have huge consequences anyway, and that girl's obviously going to be damaged in a way, along with the other girls. It's disgusting if this is true. I so hope it's not, like, just for everybody's sake, that it's not true, because it's disgusting. I like I said, I'm a iFam viewer. You don't want to feel like you've been manipulated as a viewer to think that this person's good as well, when they're not. And this person who lives in a house with 3 young girls also. So she needs, you know, if this is true, then yes, it needs to go further. And yes, the truth needs to come out. Then I turn over to the flip side. And I'm like, okay, so let's just say as well that this girl is telling an absolute lie. Everyone's on these, like, tweets and everything. People have been slandering Chris, you know, saying to him, oh, you paedophile, you this, that, and the other. And I feel like the side is more weighed towards Chris being guilty than innocent. But I think that you have to take a moment. People are saying, why would this girl lie? Why would she lie? You have to take a moment and consider that this girl is 16. When you're 16, you want attention. Doesn't mean it's good attention. This is terrible attention. It wouldn't be a good move. But you also don't think straight. And I'm just putting that in there because no one said it before, as far as I can see on videos. I have seen tweets that people say, you know, you're young, like, this could be anything. It could be a silly move in the stunt to get the Ingham family to notice her, or to just get publicity, and that's what she's getting, is she's getting publicity now. And in terms of the other girls that have come forward, they haven't come out there, which I completely understand that you'd be too shy to, because Jess is the perfect example. She's getting all of this media and all of this attention, not necessarily always in her favor, and you know, I can see how that would scare. And I think those girls are doing what they can do, and they're saying, look, this is the stuff, but I don't want to get involved. Like, that is a fail-safe playing game. Like, I understand that, but you have to understand that this girl is young, and I'm begging the question that if this has happened, like, where are her parents? Like, why isn't her parents involved? Why has this been done through Twitter? sue them, like officially sue them. Why does it, they had to get everybody else involved? Do you not, like, that's what makes me suspicious, is that's because it makes it public, it makes it publicity. If it was such a serious, damaging incident that made her so upset and that really happened, which would be disgusting, you sue them directly. You get anybody you possibly can, friends or family, involved. You don't take to Twitter. Like, it's drama written in black and white, you know? And then the final thing as well is the response that the Ingham family / Chris Ingham has given to this. Now, I think they have handled this so badly and so wrong. Chris, they should have come straight on and addressed it. They should have come straight on camera. I know they don't really want to expose, because it's not like that big right yet, so I don't think they want to expose it to all of their iFam and maybe add more like fuel to the fire. They want to keep it quite covert, but even so, he should have got on Twitter video or his private Instagram live or whatever and done an official statement from his mouth of how he feels. And if, you know, Sarah completely doesn't agree with this and she was with him, because at the end of the day, we're forgetting that the whole family was there while this incident was so-called happening. So if Chris was messaging at midnight, Sarah might have an inkling. Sarah might have been like, oh my God, yeah, he was sitting on his phone, like, and I thought it was weird because I was just like, you know, there's so many more sides we need to hear. We can't just have just Jess, who's been saying loads more, and then you've got Chris, who's released one statement, which he needs to talk about this. He needs to talk way more about this. Yeah, so I don't think what he did was right, and I'm really interested to see the next Ingham family video, because if he's still as upbeat and as normal as he is, then I'll be slightly more inclined to not believe his side of the story and believe Jess's, because that goes to show me that it obviously hasn't affected you that much. You know, like, you're obviously very good at lying and hiding things. So I fully expect the next Ingham family video to talk about what has happened, and if it doesn't, then I will be very, very surprised. But yeah, it's a effed up situation. Very effed up. I'm neither here nor there, because we have not heard enough. I don't know how anybody watching this video can be here or there. We've got one side, mostly one side of the story. We haven't heard the other one yet. So I feel like we need to reserve judgment. But this whole thing is so messed up. I just think the Ingham family needs to get on there. Sarah, more importantly, needs to get on camera. If she fully believes that this is complete bollocks, basically, then she needs to get on camera with Chris. And the other thing I do understand as well is maybe they've shied away from it a lot because they don't want their children to hear this. And I can only imagine that, let's say all of this is, you know, is complete bullshit, like basically crap, what Jess is saying. Can you imagine the effect it's going to have on the kids, especially Isabel, which is the oldest one, who I think she's 12 or 13. She's always on social media. She's got everything on her own. She's obviously going to see this. And can you imagine going online and seeing that your dad is being accused of being a paedophile? Like, anyway, it's bad, but let's just say this Jess is not telling the truth. Like, that is going to damage your relationship no matter what. But obviously at the same time, if it's true, it's going to be even worse. Like, you're not even going to see each other probably ever again. So it is just so uninformed, the situation. And I mean, it's very interesting and it's an eye-opener, and I think something that we should all be aware of, but I do think that this needs to go to court. I think that they should both go to court, and this should be done in court, because in court they will have access to all of the social media on Chris's end and all of the social media on Jess's end, and that is the only way to prove what has happened, is to see the full conversations. That's my opinion, guys. Let me know what you think down below. Please no hate. Like I said, I am not on anybody's side here. I'm really just waiting for more information, but I wanted to put this video out there to inform those of you who don't know, or those of you who have heard about it but don't know what was going on. Let me know in the comments down below. And let's just hope for everybody's sake that this is not true at all. Anyway, I hope you guys have found this video informative and somewhat enjoyed it, and I will see you all in my next vlog.